Okay, so I'm going to start this episode in a different way to the previous episode I started. No code. At the beginning, just make me talking from a real place. And I guess like the real place that I'm talking from is really from my frustration. And I can't even say it's my frustration at anything. It's just frustration that I feel. It's just like from my chest, my belly, like something from a deep place, my heart, man, like that I can't explain. But it's like the frustration makes me do things that I mean some people would think is weird. Or like sometimes I just wake up at like 2 a.m. and I just struggle to go back to bed and I just take a walk. Sometimes it's like I just can't even sleep because the anxiety I feel of what am I doing more? Like what else can I actually do to bring this vision that I have had since I was in fucking primary school. Since I was looking at the Forbes list in primary school, looking at Warren Buffett and reading his story of when he actually started doing things. And I had my own picture for myself that I could see. And I can still see it so clearly. It hasn't changed. And I'm trying to paint it, and some parts of the painting I've gotten right. And the parts that I've gotten it right, it felt so good when I finally got it right. I'm at the point where I'm thinking, okay, if I paint this well, I paint this part well, we're so much closer to seeing the actual painting actualize. And I'm guessing the strokes wrong with the painting technique. I can't really figure out how to really draw this properly with the right texture that I'm meant to create here. So I'm having to start again and start again and start again and start again. And I'm just fucking frustrated. I can't even see it for myself. I can't see it for the world. I'm just fucking frustrated at anything. But I have nowhere to even point to that. And then you try to look for the answer. You have a bunch of questions. And then looking for the answers, everything sounds so motivational and fake. And it's just the same useless lines on posters that you see all around. And it's just not real. None of it is fucking real. Everyone is trying to make it profits off this emotion. They're telling you things that you think you want to hear. And I guess if you're someone who's following the crowd, then that's definitely what you want to hear. If you're someone who's thinking directly, like thinking for yourself, your own stream of consciousness, then it's like, yo, I'm looking for something real. If you understand that feeling, that level of frustration, that fire you feel deep from your stomach, from your heart, keep listening. If not, man, just turn this off, man. The reason why I hate that motivational poster version so much is it does the same lines and they repurpose the same lines. And frustration is just redirection. It's like, oh, that Tony Robbins bullshit, man. It's like, yo, like, God, people are human, man. Like, how do you really deal with this? How do you fully understand this? How do you handle the gap between seeing your vision perfectly and trying to create it, but you still have to live life to learn the certain techniques before you get to this point or be inspired? Because sometimes the things you even want to create, it just don't exist yet. And the onus might be on you sometimes to create it, and sometimes it's just not on you, on someone else in a different part of the world to get to this point, to the creators. You can then use it and learn from it and then apply it to your life. And you're having to wait and live life at the same time because you can't just wait doing nothing. You still have to deal with the fact that that exists and you can't bring it to life yet. And there are no answers. You're looking, but there are no answers. And at some point, it becomes clear what you have to do. And then you're facing the next obstacle. And the gap between where you are and where you feel like you should be in your creation feels like it's getting wider as you progress. And it's so weird because it's like, you know you're progressing, but yet it still feels so far. Like I can't understand that part of it. It's so insane to me. That level of frustration where you can see exactly who you're supposed to become. And you're just not there. That distance feels like failure every day. But you have the vision. And the price of having that vision is every day without you actualizing that vision, you feel a heavy weight on your shoulders. Maybe that's just the price of having a vision in the first place. Who knows? Who knows with these things? I like real stories because it makes me feel connected and aligned with people who have brought their vision to life. Vincent van Gogh sold one painting in his entire life. One painting in 37 years. He wrote over 800 letters to his brother Theo. The letters were full of self-doubt, desperation, and the feeling that he was a burden to everyone around him. In one of his letters, he wrote, "I put my heart and my soul into my work, and I have lost my mind in the process." That's as real as it gets. Because you feel like you're losing your mind slowly as you're trying to do it and create it day by day. If you're not grounded, of course, like that's how it feels. Even if you are grounded, it still feels that way with the level of intensity you put into it. He died at 37. He never got to see what his paintings have become in the world today. That shit sells for like what, over 100M for his paintings. That shit is incredible. I can't even lie. It's crazy. But it's extremely sad because he never got to see that. He never got to see what it meant to people. And the crazy thing about it is there was no reassurance, there was no guarantee, there was no validation that his work would mean something to other people. He just kept doing it, he kept painting because it made him feel alive. He had no idea of knowing it would mean something. But he did what he wanted to do. He lived his life on his own terms. Langston Hughes in 1951 wrote a poem called Harlem. The opening line is, "What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run?" It's such a deep question that can't be answered. He wrote that poem in a terrible time to be black. I mean, it's still not great to be black in the world, but it was a little worse back then for him. That was in 1951. Extraordinary talent, trying to find his way through a world where they're telling him he has no place. A time in history where your dreams were supposed to stay as dreams. And even in those times, you can't kill or stop that fire he was feeling. So he never stopped writing. The question became the path. The question became the work. And he started to live out that question. Rumi is one of my favorite poets, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know that. His greatest work, the Masnavi, I definitely mispronounced that, like I do every episode, is with the image of a reed flute. A reed cut from the reed bed, crying, longing for where it came from. Listen to the reed and how it tells a tale, complaining of separations. The image is frustration in an authentic way. You have been cut from something that feels so familiar, the version of yourself that you're letting go of. What you have known to be safety, if you ever had safety. And the separation, the longing, the distance, the gap, the pain you feel as well from living in that gap is the longing. And the longing is always the path. The cry of the reed is your music, your soundtrack. Your frustration is not a sign that there's something wrong with the journey you're taking, but it's the sound of you becoming. Like one of my favorite J. Cole songs, like, you're not a man until you start following your friends. It's like the fire makes you question everything. And if you're not used to the fire, it makes you run back into comfort. For some people, I don't know how many people listen out here who can relate, but for some people, you're born right into the fire. You had no choice. You never had the option. You landed on Earth and you were told to adapt and survive. But the people who were born straight into the fire, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, but you do know how to live in the fire when you're being set ablaze with that level of uncomfort, with that level of pain. You know how to be functional, how to move forward. So you know running into the past, into familiarity is not an option for you. You know the present is fucking hurtful. But you don't know what the future is yet. It's still uncertain. It might be comfortable, it might not be. But it's really the only option you see. And that level of fire is like, it's the realest shit in the world, man. It's the only thing that keeps you alive. It's the only thing that keeps you going. But many people can't relate to that because it takes a different level of monster to always put yourself in the fire and to keep going. That's not relatable. It's admirable, but it's not relatable for most people. Because who willingly does that over and over again? You just have to be different. Bukowski worked in a post office for over a decade. He was a writer as well, by the way. He drank so much. He lived in poverty. He did not publish his first novel until he was 49. Before he quit the post office to write full-time, he wrote a letter to his publisher that said, I have one of two choices. Stay in the post office and go crazy, or stay out here and play at writer and starve. I had decided to starve. At 49, he made the decision that he'd rather die trying. Because he's lived how many decades of his life working at a post office, realizing and seeing into the future into his death and realizing, what the fuck am I doing here? What kind of life am I living? Damn the consequences. I only see one solution from now on. And that solution is, I have to keep fucking going in the direction I want. Because it's my story. I'm the fucking author. I have the pen. My life is my paper. You must choose the chaos within yourself to create something magical. One must have chaos within oneself to give birth to a dancing star. The chaos is a precondition, not something you can avoid, not something you can run from. You cannot birth something new from order, from comfort. It comes from messy situations. It comes from straight chaos, the fire, from the 3 a.m. questions to the longing you feel, to the unease and anxiety you have within yourself that is something you're supposed to be doing, from the unfinished painting. From that frustration that refuses to let you settle into a life of mediocrity. You give birth to a dancing star. You have one life to live. And for many people, they think choosing the option of not giving up makes you so strong. What they don't realize is that that's the only way you ever be free. You choose the life you want to live, not the life they've been told to live. And that's really where my frustration has been coming from, because I feel like I can feel the world trying to make me live this life I don't fucking want. It's like, yo, I don't give a shit about any of the things you're telling me. I feel nothing for this. And yes, I'm being told, be strategic, be smart, be tactical, do this. And it's like, yo, like, kind of want to watch everything burn, man. Like, the amounts of what I feel, I kind of want to watch everything burn, like, but I can't. I have to be smart with this, and it's that frustration of dealing with it every day. You're just waiting for the right time, and you're like, is there ever the right time? You control it, but you can't also rush the process of greatness as well. And you're having to deal with the impatience of being young with a vision that is so clear. And you have to have that discipline every day to live the life that is yours and to never forget your main mission. You perform, but you know the mission in the back of your mind. So it feels like you're going undercover in the world. And no matter how deep you may be playing this role, you have to come back to yourself and remind yourself of who you're actually doing this for. Where's your true allegiance to? Or who's your true allegiance to? My bad. And you remind yourself of that every day. But you're being undercover. And you're trying not to show that you're frustrated and obsessed. And you don't want to fucking be here. And it's tough and it's draining, man. But you do it because you know something is coming. And you're going to make it happen. To be stuck living the life you're doing once, the life that's been handed to you, it's not living. You're just a slave. And that's just the reality of it all. And the Prophet Gibran said, your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Even as the stone of the fruit must break, that his heart may stand in the sun. So you must know pain. The frustration is you getting rid of all the things on you that make you feel like you have to shrink. It's the shell, your protective layer that's kept you safe breaking. It feels like it's you that's breaking under the pressure, but it's everything you feel like was you. The identity that you attached to so desperately, having to dissolve, and you're feeling the weight of it. No matter how well you think you're trying to let it go, you still feel it a little bit. And you're like, yo, what is this pain? And what is this fire? Like, what is it trying to, what am I supposed to learn from this? And you're trying to learn, but you feel like you're breaking at the same time. And you're trying to keep everything together. But it's not you that is breaking. It's the shell. Whatever bullshit protective layer you had on you that you thought was keeping you safe. Everything that exists is an expression of one infinite substance. That nothing happens outside of nature. That when you feel like you're stuck, you are not outside the process, you are in it. You are part of it. The resistance you feel is not the universe working against you. It is the universe working through you. And no one tells you that during that period, that is, the process is doing something to you that you can't fully understand. It's doing something to you that is not comparable to what the good times teach you. And what I'm trying to say is, you learn more from the fire than you do when you're just comfortable. The problem with the fire is when you want to get out, you can't. if you want to get to the end goal, you can't. There's no escaping this shit. Like, so you're just waiting and you're burning. You're like, bruh, like, when is this shit over, man? And it's like, nah, it's over when its size is over. It's over when it's over when the universe tells you, yo, next step. It's over when you get over that obstacle. And sometimes you have to climb the obstacle while being on fire, man. And you go from one to the other. But the thing about it that no one ever sees is, if you've been through that fire multiple times, there is no one on earth that can ever fuck with you. There is no one on earth that can fuck with you. It's a different game when you know you can go through the fire and survive it and thrive afterwards. And you make it look good while you're doing it. There is no one that can fuck with you. Then the game becomes you versus you. While the others are playing comparative games with each other, they're doing the fights is against the other people. And what do? I have to upstage this person. And it's like, that's not your game at all, man. This is strictly about, I did this yesterday, so what can I do today? Because every version of you is so fucking tough. And you want to keep growing. So you're looking at the past version of yourself and what you went through. You're like, how the fuck did I go through it then? But then you're looking at who you are right now. And you're saying to yourself, I have to be better. That's the real fucking game. You versus you. Who wins? Do the thoughts of giving up take over? Or the thoughts of victory overpower everything else and create that reality at the cost of everything? If you can't give that up, if you can't handle what it requires, stop listening to the podcast. This isn't for you. If you're willing and you feel that drive, not an attachment to the outcome at all costs, and no matter what happens, but you feel that drive because you know what you're capable of. You know there's no other option. No matter how much you may complain, there is no going back. You only have one directive, you have one order. Keep moving forward. No matter what happens to you, keep moving forward. No, everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. That's from James Baldwin, by the way. That's not from me. Don't perform. Don't fake the positivity. Don't rush into this fake motivational world that exists. Feel the pain and understand that with every version of you that survives that pain and thrives afterwards and functions even when you don't feel like it, understand that you're learning so much. You know about the gap more and more. You're seeing life for what it is. It's starting to feel like a dream because you're becoming a lot more aware of everything. And that distance between where you are and where you think you're supposed to be, that's the direction to keep following. I don't have the answers to this because I still feel that level of frustration right now. I'm still in the middle of it, still trying to figure it out, still focusing on moving forward, even when I don't see anything and I'm blinded by the fucking ashes. But I keep remembering the stories of people like Van Gogh, even though I don't want that ending, by the way. The fuck? I want to live every bit of this, man. The fuck? I keep remembering Rumi and the others who have done great things. They never waited for the frustration to end before they kept moving forward. They kept going even when they were frustrated. They did the work within the frustration. What is it you plan to do with the one life you have? This is it. If you fuck this up, this is it. Billions and billions of people have come through this planet and they won't do shit. They'll be buried and that'll be it. We all have the same fate, sure. But with your time here, at least do what you want to do. Love the uncertainty of life. Embrace it. Live with it. And thrive with the unknowing. Stay bold, stay brave, and as always, stay Sonder.